Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. If you're holding IQD, this could be the most important moment of your life, because what's coming next will either make you a legend, or leave you watching from the sidelines. The global financial stage is shifting in ways many never thought possible, and if you're holding Iraqi Dinar IQD, you're sitting at the edge of one of the most potentially transformative economic plays of our time. But here's the truth. Most people holding Dinar don't fully grasp the magnitude of what's happening, or how fast the window of opportunity could close. This isn't just about hope or hype anymore. It's about facts, readiness, and the next move you make. The Iraqi Dinar, long labeled by skeptics as a dead currency, or unredeemable investment, has officially begun proving its critics wrong. After years of dormancy, devaluation, and speculation, the tide has finally turned. What was once dismissed as a long shot is now center stage, and key global players, including major financial institutions, are quietly positioning themselves behind closed doors. And if you're not paying attention, you could miss the most explosive part of this historic revaluation. Over the past several months, there has been a tidal wave of movement that most mainstream outlets have completely ignored. Central banks, private exchange facilities, elite-tier clients, and internal banking systems across the US, Europe, and the Middle East are now engaged in one common activity, quietly preparing for the global reintegration of the Iraqi dinar at its rightful value. The public rollout may not be advertised on every billboard, but those in the know are already moving behind the scenes. This isn't about theories anymore. This is about implementation. You may be asking, why now? Why would Iraq suddenly become a centerpiece in the global monetary reset? The answer lies in the convergence of several massive events. First, Iraq's political and economic stability has improved dramatically. Under Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani's administration, sweeping reforms have taken hold across Iraq's monetary policy and infrastructure. The Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) has implemented strict anti-corruption measures, digital banking modernization, and integration with international payment systems like SWIFT and IBAN. This kind of readiness doesn't appear overnight, it's engineered. And it's a signal to the global community that Iraq is ready to play on the world stage. Second, oil-backed economies are being re-evaluated, especially in the wake of BRICS initiatives, petrodollar de-dollarization, and multilateral trade agreements now shifting away from U.S. dominance. Iraq, as one of the largest oil reserves in the world, is perfectly positioned to capitalize on this transformation. The IQD, once artificially suppressed due to war, sanctions, and foreign interference, is now being strategically restored. And not as a minor player, but as a currency of significant value, possibly even gold or commodity backed under future IMF frameworks. The most telling signs come from the banking world. Over the past year, major U.S. banks like Wells Fargo and Chase have been quietly setting up internal training protocols, NDA-restricted exchange desks, and digital infrastructure for foreign currency redemption. Reports from insiders reveal that certain high-net-worth clients have already begun processing pre-RV contracts. Though these are not yet available to the general public, the infrastructure is being stress-tested for full-scale activation. The significance of this cannot be overstated. Banks don't waste time or money on fantasy. If they're preparing, it means something very real is coming. Now let's talk timelines. One of the biggest myths in the Dinar community is the idea that this revaluation will be openly announced to the public ahead of time. That is simply not how major financial resets occur. Just like the gold standard decoupling, the launch of Bitcoin, or the Great Reset narratives coming out of the World Economic Forum, these things happen, and then the public is informed. If you're waiting for CNN or CNBC to give you the green light, you'll be too late. The RV of the Iraqi dinar isn't about if, it's about when. And all evidence suggests we are no longer waiting years or even months. We're now counting days, possibly hours. Certain currency dealers have reported being notified of compliance windows, suggesting a very narrow period in which IQD will be accepted at drastically elevated rates. These windows could open for a day, a week, or less, targeted first at Tier 1 clients, then maybe the public, or maybe not at all. If you're not ready to act, you'll miss it. But what does being ready mean? First, you need to ensure your dinar is authentic and properly documented. If you purchased your currency from a reputable dealer, you should already have certificates of authenticity and serial tracking. If you didn't, it's time to get your currency verified by a professional authentication service before the window opens. Second, understand the types of exchange appointments. There may be two pathways: public rates and contract rates. Contract rates are typically higher and require an appointment through pre-approved channels. These may include private redemption centers, wealth management groups, or NDA-governed exchange desks. If you don't have access to these or aren't aware of how to connect with them, you're likely to be offered only the street rate, or nothing at all if your bank isn't participating. Third, know your plan after the exchange. A massive influx of sudden wealth can be as dangerous as it is liberating. Without preparation, it can be squandered or, worse, frozen by taxation or legal complications. Sit down now with a trust attorney, tax strategist, and financial advisor who understands currency revaluation and asset protection. Structure your post-exchange finances wisely, using trusts, LLCs, and tax shelters where applicable. Don't wait for the exchange to start making your plan. Those who fail to plan will be overwhelmed by chaos. Fourth, keep your exchange private. When the RV hits, scammers, imposters, and fake exchange centers will pop up like weeds. Only work with institutions you can verify. Never share your IQD holdings publicly. Don't flaunt your participation online. Be smart. The exchange process will require NDAs for a reason, and breaking them could void your rates or worse. Protect your wealth by staying low-key and secure. Another key factor to understand is the geopolitical power play unfolding behind the RV. This isn't just an economic event. It's a restructuring of global alliances. Iraq's revaluation is one thread in a much larger fabric that includes BRICS expansion, gold-backed currencies, and the fall of fiat dominance. The revaluation of IQD is part of a global chessboard reordering, where sovereign nations are reclaiming monetary power and displacing centralized banking authority. This means the IMF, World Bank, and BIS are quietly collaborating, whether publicly acknowledged or not. Don't think of the IQD as just currency. Think of it as a pass into the new monetary paradigm. And that paradigm is being built on stability, resources, and sovereignty, not printing presses and inflation. Iraq has everything required to lead in this new system: oil, gold, a young population, international trade demand, and now, a restructured financial apparatus. But again, this window will not stay open forever. Just like the original 2003 issuance of the IQD was time-sensitive, the redemption phase will have its own expiration. Banks may only honor certain notes for a limited period. Contract rates may disappear within hours of being activated. If you're holding onto your currency, thinking you'll wait and see how it plays out, you may find yourself left behind. The RV is not about public announcements, it's about being informed, alert, and ready to move when the signal drops. Already, early private exchanges are reportedly occurring. While not confirmed publicly, reports across global dinar forums, private chat groups, and insider calls have begun to align. Rates such as $3.77, $4.56, and even higher have been whispered as confirmed within closed groups. Whether or not these are true contract rates or internal test phases, the point is clear: the machine has already started. We are no longer in theory territory. And then there's the wildcard: blackouts. Several reports have emerged suggesting that the final execution of the RV will involve temporary communication blackouts, market freezes, and rapid digital currency shifts. Don't be surprised if when the moment arrives, the screens go dark, FX markets halt, and an emergency update resets the financial landscape. It's been hinted at too many times to ignore. Be prepared, physically and digitally. Have hard copies of your records, verified identification, and backup communication plans in place. In closing, if you're holding Iraqi Dinar today, you're no longer simply holding currency. You're holding a gateway to a financial future that is quickly approaching critical mass. But it will not wait for everyone to catch up. This is not the time for hesitation, nor for complacency. It's time for action, discretion, and unwavering readiness. The moment is coming fast, and when it hits, it won't come with a second chance. If you own IQD, watch this moment closely. Because by the time the world wakes up, the opportunity may already be gone. And those who were ready, will be the ones writing the future. Like and subscribe for more videos.